Hello, I am Bhavna Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, GEMTech, and today we are going to discuss on the subject entrepreneurship development. Yesterday we have started with a basic introduction of entrepreneur, and today we are going to discuss the theories of entrepreneurship. Various theories has been given by various authors, and we'll discuss one by one. So first one is theory of innovation. Theory of innovation was propounded by Joseph Schumpeter. According to him, entrepreneur is basically an innovator. An innovator is one who introduces new combinations. So those new combinations can be anything like uh, innovation of new products or new methods, new market. So he believed that entrepreneurs disturb the stationary circular flow of economy. When they introduce innovation, they takes the economy to new level of development. So activities of the entrepreneurs represent a situation of disequilibrium as their activities break the routine circular flow. So innovations of the entrepreneurs are basically responsible for the rapid economic development of any country, and he has assigned the role of innovator to the entrepreneur. He said that entrepreneur is not a man who has ordinary managerial ability, but he is the one who introduces something entirely new. So innovation could involve any of the following. There can be innovation of new products, like the product which the consumers have not seen, or it is of better quality, or new utility can be there. It may involve innovation in novel methods or process of production. That means the process that have not been used in the say manufacturing or commercially. So it may increase the productivity and lower the cost of production. Third innovation can be opening of new market. Means a new market which may have existed before but was not entered by the business. The entrepreneurs might find new source of supply of raw materials, source or place which has not been commercially exploited by the business. Innovation in management refers to reorganization, reconciliation of the position of the enterprise by building a monopoly, like controlling or dismantling the existing monopoly of others in industry. So basically, Schumpeter was very explicit about the economic function of entrepreneur. He considered us as the prime mover in economic development. And entrepreneur's task is to innovate, to carry out new combinations. He had differentiated between invention and innovation. Innovation refers to application of new materials into practical use. Inventor is the one who invents new materials. So innovator is the one who utilizes these inventions and discoveries in order to make new combinations. Now, the Schumpeter faced some criticism about his innovative theory. First criticism was that the theory overemphasized on innovative functions of entrepreneur. It ignored the organizing aspects of entrepreneurship. Second criticism was that he had completely ignored the risk-taking function of entrepreneur, which is a very important element, because whenever an entrepreneur develops new combination of factors of production, be it land, labor, capital, so there is always a risk involved in it. So he has completely ignored this point. Then one more criticism was that this theory is more applicable in developed countries only. because in developing countries there is paucity of innovative entrepreneurs. Like in India also we have more of imitative entrepreneurs and not innovative entrepreneurs. And last criticism is that the theory does not provide explanation as to why few countries have more entrepreneurship talent than the others. Next theory is need for achievement theory. This was developed by David C. McClelland. McClelland concerned himself with economic growth, the factors that influence it. So he tries to find the internal factors, that is, human values or motives, that lead the man to exploit the opportunities, to take advantage of favorable trade conditions. So he given more importance to the innovative characteristics of entrepreneurial role. It is concerned with the need of achievement. Achievement is means a desire to do well, not for the sake of social recognition or say prestige, but for the sake of inner feeling of personal accomplishment. It is the motive of this achievement that guides the actions of entrepreneur. So people with high achievement behave in a particular way. So it is better to develop achievement among individuals to ensure high scale of economic development. So achievement motive is inculcated through child rearing practices, which stresses the standards of excellence, self-reliance, training. So McClelland has identified two characteristics of entrepreneurship. First was doing things in a new or better way, and second, decision making under uncertainty. This motive is called as tendency to strive for success in situations involving evaluation of one's performance in relation to some, say, standard of excellence. People having high need for achievement, they are more likely to succeed as entrepreneurs. So he said that individuals with high need achievement will not be motivated by monetary incentives, but that monetary rewards will constitute a symbol for achievement for them. Similarly, they are not interested much for social recognition or prestige, but their ultimate goal is personal accomplishment. So he suggested that in order to raise the level of achievement, motivation, parents should set high standards for the children. Next theory is status withdrawal theory. This theory was developed by E. Hagen. He attempted to formulate a theory of social change. The theory of social change explains when members of some social groups feel that their values and status are not respected by society, they turn to innovation to get the respect of society. So according to Hagen, entrepreneurship is function of status withdrawal. This theory says that a class which lost its previous prestige or minority group tends to show aggressive entrepreneurial drive. So Hagen postulates four types of events. So Hagen postulated four types of events which can produce status withdrawal. One is the displacement of traditional elite group from its previous status by another traditional group by physical force, or denigration of values, symbols through some change in the attitude of superior group. Third is the inconsistency of static symbol with a changing distribution of economic power. And last is non-acceptance of expected status on migration to a new city. So he basically opined that the innovation or change is the basic feature of economic growth. He describes an entrepreneur as creative problem shooter, interested in things, in practical, in technological realm. So such type of individual feels a sense of increased pleasure when facing a problem, or when they tolerate disorder without discomfort. So, in traditional societies, positions of authorities are granted on the basis of status rather than individual ability. So, he visualized an innovative personality, and there are four responses which assess the personality. First is retreatist. Retreatist is one who combines to work in the society but remains indifferent to his work and position. Ritualist, one who adopts a kind of defensive behavior and acts in the ways accepted and approved in his society but with no hopes of improving his position. Third one is reformist, is one who foments a rebellion and attempts to establish a new society. While last one is innovator, who is a creative individual who is likely to be an entrepreneur. So the theory acts to distinguish between entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. There are different factors within the organization which motivates the employees to do some innovative behavior, which leads to new products, new services. So actually, they are not governed by the status withdrawal. The theory only suggests that the people who had enjoyed social standing at some stage fall into a retreatist phase, and with an urge to regain that lost status emerge as entrepreneurial personality. And this theory also supposes a long-term perspective for entrepreneurial growth. Next theory is theory of social change. This was given by Max Weber, who advocated a sociological explanation for growth of entrepreneurship in his theory. He felt that religion had a profound influence on growth of entrepreneurship. The religious belief, ethical values associated with society plays a vital role in determining the entrepreneurial culture. So he was the first one who took the stand that entrepreneurial growth was dependent upon ethical value system of society. He was of the opinion that the spirit of rapid industrial growth depends upon technology or acquisition of money, rational use of productivity. So he analyzed his theoretical formulation by relationship that he found between Protestant ethnic and spirit of capitalism. He found his thesis true about other communities like Hindu, Jain. He held that Protestants progressed fast in bringing capitalism because their ethical value system provided with rational attitude, while the Jews or Jains they failed to develop the capitalism because of their value of pariha, that is a restriction on having contact with other communities. So, theory of social change says that driving entrepreneurial energies are generated by adoption of the religious beliefs. It is these beliefs which produce intensive exertion in the occupational pursuits, systematic order of means to ends, or accumulation of assets. So, there was criticism of the theory that the theory is based on unrealistic, invalid assumptions. Theory has been found empirically invalid. Weber has been criticized by many sociologists on his view of Hinduism and entrepreneurship. The rapid expansion of entrepreneurship in India in post-independence period disproves that Hinduism is averse to the spirit of capitalism and to adventurous spirit. The views of on the Protestant ethic were also not completely correct. Capitalism has flourished in regions where Protestant ethic is not present. Next is theory of social behavior. This was developed by Kunkale. He presents a behavioral model of entrepreneurship. Supply of entrepreneur is social function or political function, economic structure function. So behavioral model concerned with openly expressing the activities of individuals and their relations to the previous or present surroundings, social structure and physical conditions. According to Kunkale, individuals perform various activities which some are accepted by the society while some are not accepted by society. So whatever activities are accepted by the society, they are basically rewarded. So that reward act as a reinforcing stimulus, which increases the probability of repeating that behavior. So this behavior pattern of social behavior is known as entrepreneurial behavior. And supply of entrepreneurship depends upon the four structures. So these four structures are: first is limitation structure. The society limits specific activities, and this limitation structure affects all the members of society, including the entrepreneurs. Second structure is demand structure. Material rewards are necessary to lay the foundation for future social gains. The behavior of people can be made entrepreneurial by manipulating certain selected components of demand structure. Third one is opportunity structure. It consists of availability of capital, management skills, technological skills, information concerning production methods, labor, and market. Then is labor structure. It is concerned with supply of competent and willing labor. Supply of labor is affected by several factors like alternative means of livelihood, traditionalism, expectations of life. So basically, this theory assumes that ideal structure for supply of entrepreneurs, but there is a discrepancy between objective, structure, actual incidence of entrepreneurs. So there are inadequate or incorrect perceptions attached with these perceptions. So entrepreneurship is actually governed by specific combinations of circumstances which are generally not available in the environment. Thank you. That's all for today.